I probably spent 2 minutes making them hate me. And then after they hated me, and believe me, they did, I'm like, I'm just going to see if this new stuff works.
Yeah.
So I get up there, and it didn't.
No, I get that if that's what you're going to do. Commit to that. But you didn't. You bailed and went to old stuff. So if you're going to do old stuff anyways, then just open with it.
I didn't plan on that. At that point, it's like I can't have these people think that, I'm not going to say the name of any other comics there, but I can't have them thinking they're better than me. But, of course, they do think that. They think they're all better than me.
That bothers you, doesn't it?
It does bother me. I redeemed myself. I worked with Mickey Coachella on Saturday, and I crushed it. Now, I was in Cecil County. I guess that's more my audience.
I don't even know where that is. What?
Exactly. It's not really in Maryland. It's a county in Maryland, but it's so far on the edge, I don't even know if they consider, I think it's its own state or whatever.
That's your audience.
I did really well. Made me feel a lot better about myself. Now, Mickey headline, and Mickey, those are his people.
Yes.
And, I love working with Mickey. He's good to me. But one thing that I hate is that when he's crushing, he won't get off stage. And, we're supposed to eat. And, we eat after every show. And the show started at 8. It's 11:30. He's still up there doing his stuff. He gets to the point where he's almost done. And then he does this little shtick about, you're not allowed to smoke inside a building in Maryland unless it's part of a artistic performance. Do you guys consider me an artist? They all cheer. He lights up a cigarette. Well, that just added 25 minutes to his set. I already know that.
Now that he can smoke,
he's going to be up there to the end of the set, right?
The only reason he gets off is because he needs a cigarette.
He needs a cigarette, right? He's a nicotine addict, right? So then he's up there, and all of a sudden the cigarette's almost down to where he's done, and then he goes, "Any questions?" To them, this is George Clooney. I mean, this is an A-lister, Mickey is, to them. So they ask him anything they can think of. And finally, how he does this? He gives out his phone number. And he literally gives his phone number out to everybody in the audience. And, of course, he's looking at his phone. And the whole thing is that people are going to call so he can prove that he really gave out his phone number. Well, I text him, "Get off stage," when he's looking at his phone.
Did he reference that? Did he say that?
At 11:30? Yes, of course he did. And, so they boo me, of course, at that point. Now, I crushed there, made me feel good. I did none of the new jokes that I tried out at Topaz 3 short days.
Oh, come on, you're crushing. It's your audience. You just totally got scared to try the new stuff.
Well, I did do a lot of new stuff, most of it just to get into the act about 98 Rock and getting fired from 98 Rock and stuff like that. But I met 2 pretty funny comics, and I don't know if you've worked with these guys yet. One was a girl named Wendy Townsend. She's very funny.
Know Wendy real well. Love Wendy. She's awesome.
And then before that, there's a guy. His name is, what's his name? Mike
Turpin.
Turpin, right. He's the MC. Not only is he a funny guy, but he's like this go-getter. He's like opening up rooms everywhere. He's doing sketch comedy. He's doing YouTube videos. So he's everything that I'm not.
Typical new comic who's still trying. I understand.
He's trying so hard. He had props. He's doing voices. Everything you can do, he's doing, right? So they're off stage. I realize they're dating. Do you know this?
I don't really know Mike at all, but I know that they are dating, yes. But I'll still hit on Wendy. We know that.
Well, that won't stop.
Discovered with how I act, apparently.
But here's the thing. I really like them. But I have this thing I do where I just say what I think. And I don't know why I do that. I need to temper that. I mean, I'm 44. I can't act like a child. So they allude to the fact that they're dating. Now, I've already been talking to them for like 25 minutes, 30 minutes. I go, "Oh, you guys are dating?" And they go, "Yeah." I go, "Well, it's probably not going to work out." Now, why would I say that? I mean, I feel like as soon as I say that, you could tell she's like, I'm not comfortable with this, but it's already out there. And instead of me saying, "I'm just kidding," blah, 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 now I have to defend it. Right?
You have to give your reasons, which are based in sound, logic. Still not your place. Why would you?
Right. And then, of course, I say that. Look, guys, listen, relationships, I mean, all of them fail except 1 or 0. I mean, you understand that every relationship in your life fails until one works. And then sometimes that one doesn't work. So the fact that you think that this one is going to work out, literally it's 1 in 100. Don't you agree? I mean, I don't know how many relationships are going to be, and maybe it's 1 in 20 or whatever. It depends on what you consider a relationship. But honestly, it probably won't work out. So that's my defense. And they're laughing, but kind of like this. And no, stop saying that, whatever. And then Mickey walks over and I go, "These guys are dating." He goes, "Yeah, it probably won't work out." He says it right to him. As soon as I say it. And I feel bad. So then this guy who I really like, I like this guy, Mike Turpin. I like him.
Right.
But then he says, he's talking about his comedy, who he loves, who his influences are. And he says he loves Andy Kaufman. Now, I hate Andy Kaufman. I've said it a million times. But instead of me just sitting there saying, okay, that's who you like, whatever, I explained to him why Andy Kaufman is no good, right? So now this is his hero,
and
right?
That's the tone you take. It's not that, well, I disagree, it's not really my thing. You say, no, you're wrong, and this is why you're wrong.
Well, I'm not saying that Andy Kaufman has no merit. I'm just saying that's not my thing. I don't like people who make it about them and not about the audience. I don't. Your job is to make people laugh. If you're trying to have fun at their expense so the story later is funny, that might be a funny story to tell about you reading The Great Gatsby, but how long am I going to sit there and watch you read it? Yeah, it's funny if you tell me about it, but if I'm in the audience, I'm going to be mad just like the audience members are, and I don't like that. When
someone's telling you they're in a relationship, you don't want it to be about you telling them why it's not going to work. Oh, wait. No, that is how you are.
Yeah. So anyway, so then I start telling this guy, who I like, that his hero is horrible at comedy. So then I'm like, what is the matter with me? I got to stop doing this. That's, I like this guy, and all I'm doing is crapping on him. Well, then we're back and we're eating dinner finally. I don't know what time it is, 2 a.m. or whatever, Mickey got off stage. And he starts talking about these rooms that he runs. And he goes, yeah, it's not a bringer show. I hate bringer shows, blah, 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 blah. Now, the first thing I do is think, no, bringer shows are great shows. That's how you build an audience and blah, blah. So, of course, what do I say? No, that's the way to run an open mic. That's the way to run a room.
No. He's talking about actual shows where they're paying a headliner. You want to be able to pay a comic who's funny, and you can't if it's all bringers. There's going to be unfunny people. I've done like one of the rooms before, and there was a lot of people there. They're booking people that are bringing people. But go ahead. Tell them what he's doing wrong.
The point is that as soon as he told me that, he said that there's an audience every show. Well, as soon as he says that, and then I know there's good comics on the show, then I'm like, oh, well, that's exactly what I want. But I've already told him because I thought it was an open mic.
Good networking show.
So I immediately start telling him why that won't work. And I like the guy. I liked him. He's like a super nice guy. And he's like this overachiever, which I'm not. But I need to kind of saddle up to people like that because they're the ones creating work, right?
Well, Norman and Robbie, do you also, like me, find it a little suspicious that Joe keeps making a point to say how much he likes him?
Yes.
What do you mean?
It doesn't sound
you
like
keep shitting
really
on him and say, no, I like him.
But I said he was funny.
I know. He's a good guy.
Well, think about the reason that I shit on him. Because I said his relationship wouldn't work. That doesn't mean I don't like the guy. And then I said that Andy Kaufman wasn't funny. Like, Robbie thinks Hampton isn't funny. I like Robbie. He's just an idiot. You follow what I'm saying? And then the last thing was how to run an open mic. So, no, I genuinely did like the guy. I just happened to...
I was just having a general conversation about how relationships don't work out. You told him that his girlfriend was going to leave, that his comedy hero was shit, and that he doesn't know how to run an open mic.
Yeah.
You shit on everything about this guy.
That was important to him, yeah.
Yes.
You may like him, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't like you.
Not now he doesn't. I mean, I don't know how he could.
I'm not even sure I like you at this point.
I know. What can I do to make it up? Valentine's Day is coming up.
It's a big day.